Hey, we're live, guys. So today, I am Jeff with eBay Addicts, and my guest is the Carolina Hustler. What's up, man? Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I am the Carolina Hustler. My name's Casey, full-time eBay reseller. If you haven't watched my channel, I do go around pretty much, what most resellers do. I go around the garage sales and the thrift stores, Goodwills, wherever I can find stuff and flip it on eBay. And that's what I do for a full-time living. Make pretty good money. I live in South Carolina, right here in Charleston, and have a pretty decent life.
Awesome. So tell everybody a little bit about what have you been up to lately this past week. One of our viewers said, Madman Manny, he said, hey, Carolina Hustler, said
Hey,
hi.
what's going on? So
Man,
what have I been up?
what have you been up to, and how are you getting ready for Q4 coming up, bro?
Well, I kind of just keep my same game plan going. Q4 doesn't affect me too much. If anything, I kind of teeter out with mine because I'm seasonal. But I'm still sourcing, trying to learn new things. But mostly, I'm finding golf clubs, and that's what I do. I mean, that's just my big niche. But sourcing wise, I source about every day. Like I'm always out probably about 5 or 6 Goodwills, at least twice a week, and dropping that on the garage sales on the weekend. So it's just a pretty much a continuation of that. And
Awesome.
trying to get boxes. I mean, I just had to order, pay for boxes. I haven't had to ever do that before since the USPS is crashing on me here. They're not delivering my boxes like I normally get. So I'm in a crunch right now. I'm down to 4 boxes. So if I sell more than 4 golf clothes right now, I'm going to be screwed a little bit until Amazon brings my boxes in, or I have to go out and find some.
Well, I'm sure you could go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or something and get some boxes, or you might have to
Yeah.
get some Frankenstein boxes where you cut them and then you tape them up. You know the ones I'm talking about. You might have to do some Frankenstein boxes. So what's been going on with you lately, Casey? Man, how have things been going for you? How has your sales been going? How has your YouTube channel been going, bro?
Yeah, man. Sales have been pretty decent. I mean, the last 2 months, I think I've done. I mean, for me at least, from going from a part-time to full-time back in April. I think last month was about 10,000 gross sales, and then the month for that was 10,000 gross sales, and I'm netting over 50% of that. So it's been pretty decent for as a full-time income. So I mean, I don't regret like going back to another job because I don't think another job could have paid me that amount of money. YouTube channel, man, I put out 2 videos a week and I try to keep up with it. I know it's an important part of, trying to, build the platform, just trying to, build it, staying continuous in the community. But I put out 2 videos a week. I do the best I can. And I'm not really that good with technology. So I just use my iPhone and edit it.
Right.
And so that's kind of give you the answer to the YouTube thing. Just do the best I can with it.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Most people don't make, $5,000-$6,000 a month working full time. I'm out here too, bro. I'm out here trying to source every day if I can. I'm actually, in case you guys are wondering, I'm in a parking lot at a Dollar Tree. I was actually getting ready to go sourcing, and I was like, "Oh, we're going live in 10 minutes. I don't have time to finish sourcing." So, but yeah, man, I'm out there with you. So you try to go hit garage sales and Goodwills. Like, where do you like to go sourcing at the most?
I mean, sometimes I don't like the garage sales too much. I get so nervous with a garage sale. So I do like the thrift stores and Goodwills more. I know a lot of people say they're overpriced, but I mean I actually find most of my inventory from those and the Facebook Marketplace. I find a lot of good deals on there. Garage sales are cool, but man, my competition in my area right now is very high. Like there is so many resellers in this area. So it does get kind of I mean, if you snooze, you lose. If you're not up early, I mean, you literally have to be at the yard sale at 6:30, and there's somebody there doing the same thing. If you're looking for that video game crap, man, it is not there.
It's gone by the time you get there. Yeah.
I don't even
Right. I'm
ask
with.
anymore.
So, what else do you like to go sourcing besides golf clubs? I checked out your eBay store. What other type of items are you looking for when you're out sourcing?
I don't stick to. I kind of keep it basic. I usually look for shoes. I do look for some electronics like VCRs, the combo players. Kind of stay away from them a little bit, but I do like the VCRs. They sell pretty good. I do look for tennis rackets, any kind of sporting goods. The weight stuff too, man. It looks like a lot of home gym and any kind of weight or anything like that sells pretty good. I stay away
Yeah.
from clothes. I stay away from clothing. I do look at plush. I do look at Legos. I've done some good flips on Legos lately. Toys. I actually sit there at the yard sale up too. Like even when it comes to toys, tools, plush, like I said, occasional clothing, maybe if it's like a jersey. But
Right.
most golf clubs though is mostly what I'm looking for.
All right, cool. So, Casey, if you don't mind, we're going to get in a little bit of your backstory, man. Before you became a YouTuber and before you became a full-time reseller, like we're going to talk a little bit about your backstory. So, what have you been up to? I know you're married now and you have kids, but like, what have
Yeah,
you been up to? Like, what led you before you became a full-time reseller and YouTuber? Like, what were you up to?
man, my prior, you mean as far as like a career, what I was doing as
Yeah,
far
like
as work?
what I mean, just yeah, like what was your career? Like how was your like if you've been kind of like off and on part time for a while, right? Before
Yeah,
like before you went full time, how long were you on part time? Were you like part time reseller?
that was probably like 2, 3 years. I think I started in 2017 as an actual like doing a eBay store with reselling stuff with good, over 100 things in my store. So 17, 2, 3 years. And prior to being a full time reseller, I drove a truck for a company called Centol. I had to say their name. I mean, and I delivered towels and I picked dirty towels up off the ground. It was actually a pretty dirty job, but it was a good company. And I only worked 4 days a week. I had the weekends off to go garage selling, and I was able to build my business. Having the extra time. So it was a good, decent company to work for. But then the COVID thing happened, and I got I just kind of they let me go. It just wasn't anything I did wrong. And prior to that, I was into automotive. I was a retail salesperson where I just sat at the counter and I sold tires for a living. I mean, that was such a boring job. You're talking about 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. I mean, 50, 60 hours. I mean, I hated that grind. I mean, that just sucked so bad. I did that for 8 years. So I have a background in automotive. I was an automotive mechanic, then became like a service manager in that field, and then I kind of just stayed in the sales part. I mean, I hated that. It wasn't even a 9 to 5, man. You're talking like 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. I missed out on so much stuff. And then weekends, I missed out a lot. The pay
Yeah,
really wasn't great. I mean, it was okay, but it was pretty soul crushing.
yeah. So, Casey, how long have you and your wife been married now?
Oh man, I think 7 or 8 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
2012, 10. I guess 8 years. Yeah, since
Yeah, and I was just
2012.
wondering because before we went on live, you were telling me that your wife, she's on board with too. She's a reseller as well. That's why I brought it up. I'm not trying to pry. That's why
Nah,
I asked, bro. Yeah.
no, you're fine. Yeah, man. She's on board. She does it, man. As I was telling you, in the back there, she wasn't on board all the way in the beginning. I mean, if you can imagine, when I started having 50 or more golf clubs in the house, and that got kind of aggravating. She was like, "When are you gonna get caught up?" I was like, "Baby, we ain't never getting caught up. This is what I'm." I'm
So
like,
she wasn't too keen on you bringing in golf clubs and bringing all this stuff in the house. To her, it was just a bunch of junk, right? At first, right?
yeah, yeah. Now, I mean, if you see my house now, it's got me and her junk in it. But I mean,
Yeah.
back then, I mean, she wasn't too keen on it. But I think she finally started going to Goodwills and she started making a few flips. And she saw where you go to the Goodwill bins, and she was finding Coach purses and Louis Vuitton purses in there. Um, what else she find? I mean, she finds all the name brand stuff she's been shopping retail for her whole life and paying retail for. And I think that's what hooked her. When she found that kind of stuff on flipping on eBay, and then she found stuff she can have, she started rolling it in. I mean, she probably makes about at least I don't know $500-800 $500 to $800 in profit a month on her stuff. So
Yeah.
she does the bins a lot.
Okay,
Kind of.
I was just wondering because there's a lot of people they can't get their spouse on board. Like they don't see it. They're not on the same page as
Mm,
far as reselling. They're just kind of like you just kind of do your own thing and leave it alone with me. So I just thought it was awesome that your wife she's on board with you and supports your reselling. So that's nice, man. So and so you guys are married. How many kids do you have now, Casey?
we have two. I have a
Two
boy and
kids.
girl. Uh,
How old are they?
I got one that's 2 and one that's 5.
Man, that's awesome. So,
Yeah, keep it
but
busy.
I mean, it's what I'm saying is awesome that you get to make your own schedule now and you get to be home more with your wife and your kids and your family as opposed to working all the time, right?
Yeah, man, it's a blessing. It's for sure. I mean, it was kind of pretty much my utopia in the future where I look, back and I was like, I want to be here one day where I don't have to be on anybody's schedule. And I wanted it so bad. I actually went to school to be a teacher when I failed at doing that, but I just wanted the summers off and the weekends. Not saying I didn't want to have that, be a teacher and help other kids. It just wasn't fit for me. That was the opportunity I saw to have free time, and now eBay has allowed me to have the free time to do what I want to do.
Yeah. And so, like, how long have you actually been full time now?
Since April, so probably I guess 5 months: April, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months.
Okay, now I watched one of your videos. I am a subscriber of your channel. I watched one of your videos lately, and you talked
Appreciate
about
it.
giving. You were talking about giving tips to people that were part time and thinking about going to full time. Could you get into a little bit about that and give us? I think it was like 4 tips that you had
Yeah,
in your video for people that wanted to go full time. I'm going to be quiet and let you talk. So go ahead, bro.
no, you're good, man. I'll just have to go back to the video and figure out what I talked about in 4 tips. But I mean, I think most of it wasn't even about. I mean, it really ain't about just being a full time. It's not about mostly what you sell and what you have. You have to have a financial background. I mean, you have to be financially fit to get like to do that plunge. I used to listen to Joe Rogan and Gary Vee speech every day in my Centos truck every day about quitting your job, and they were, you have to have an escape, and that's like tip number one. I mean, you do have to you have to follow like a Dave Ramsey style plan. You need to be 6 months of backup money, like I had. I can give you my finance like stuff, but I had like well over a 5-digit bank account to support myself. So I knew I could like if that day I got let go of my job, I went home and just figured it out. I was like, well, I got like 2 years, so I know I could become full time eBay reseller. This is no problem as long as, and I also want to keep track of bills and make sure I can make the bill payment. And then one of those tips I do discuss on how you need to make sure before you become a full time eBay reseller that you can, as a part timer, you can make profit to pay off your budget of your bills that month. So if your bills are $1,800 that month, you should be able to know that you've made a consistent, more than $1,800 in profit on each month of your eBay business. And that's what I did. I mean, I had to make sure I done that was my $1,800 my budget, and I've done consistently $2,000 or more in profit leading up to that. And then when I did take the plunge full time, my profits and sales increased. I mean, because I didn't really. Only thing I did was just do 10 listings a day. I just do 10 listings a day, change prices weekly, and send out offers. And I mean, I
Well,
pretty much.
yeah, well, when I watched your channel, I think you said something about you wanted to talk about helping people get out of debt, having an emergency fund set aside, being able to have
Yeah.
it generate enough money from their eBay store in order to offset their monthly expenses, things like that.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. Pretty much what you just
Yeah,
said.
right.
I mean,
So yeah, so I saw something. You had something where you and your wife were going to have a date night or something. Can you
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that? Like when you're on your motorcycle, go ahead and talk about that a little bit, Casey.
Well, on a motorcycle, but man, that was a hell of a night there, man. I mean, excuse me, that was a heck of a night. Of course, on your channel here, but that was a good thrift. I mean, I just recorded most of it, but yeah, we just went out thrifting. We've done that 3 times in a row now. So we'll go out on a Saturday night. I get once a month. We'll go on the date, and I have a babysitter come, and I literally will make bank doing that with her. Like, she'll find stuff, and it's on a Saturday evening at the Goodwills. I don't know if I'm just getting lucky or what, but man, I find like stupid amount of stuff. That haul there and that video was like, I got made like $1,500. I mean, I knew it
Really?
too. Yeah, I made pretty good money.
But I'm saying no. I mean, like your date night was you and your wife going sourcing, right? Going
Yeah,
shopping for items to resell on eBay. That's what I was
yeah,
saying.
yeah. That's what we did. I went out thrifting. We went to 4 Goodwills, and I had 3 marketplace pickups. So
Oh,
that's
really?
yeah. One of them was a
Yeah.
goose. One was like a goose chase, man. It was like this guy had a message on the Facebook that said that here's the address. I mean, the picture was very vague, couldn't tell. First come gets it. It was $25. Bag was worth probably $400 of golf clubs. So I got that for $25, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. So you do a lot of these Facebook Marketplace pickups, or besides going to the Goodwill, and you said you go to the Goodwill bins. To people that haven't been to the Goodwill bins, can you tell us about how that process works?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's pretty cool. Me go in there, it can be aggressive. You got a lot of people in there that are hustling for the flea market. I think that's where I kind of get the vibe. They weigh about a pound. You pretty much have a clothing item or shoes or purse or whatever you find, and they weigh it on a scale. It's usually like $1.46 a pound or something in that range. Yeah, that's how they how you get charged. So you can literally walk out of there with a pair of Jordans for $2 or a Coach purse for $1, and that's usually how my wife does it.
Yeah. Well, what kind of items have you found at the bins lately? Have you been there lately, or does your wife just go by
Hmm.
herself?
Man, if you dig in my archive of my videos, if there's one out, anytime you see me go in the bins, I'm not in there long. I I can't sit there and do clothes and stuff. I don't know what it is. I'm in and out. Like if I don't see a golf club in there or hard good, I'll go in there and look for some shoes. But I just don't have it. Or she has the patience to sit there, and then you have when they roll out the new inventory, they will sit there and move you out the way. I mean, like the people that are looking, they'll move you out the way and try to reach in front of you. So that just ain't me. So I not saying
Yeah.
it's not a bad way to source. Like I know so I'm in Charleston, that's how that goes. But like in Harry Tornadoes area and SC Treasures, they're in Columbia, and I've been in that store. They have a lot more hard goods in there, so that's probably a little bit better. But mine just has clothing, purses, and shoes. All the hard goods gets dispersed all over the retail stores. So if that
Yeah.
answers your questions about me sourcing the bins. Not my not my forte, I guess.
Yeah, I've been to the bins a couple of times. They have some down here in Florida where I'm at, but like I said, I don't buy a lot of clothing. I usually try to get right now. I ship out a lot of media items, but like you said, some of the people there can be kind of aggressive at the bins. You know, they kind of like
Yeah.
push you out of the way to get to the merchandise that they want. I mean, it's kind of like a free for all kind of thing. One of our viewers, they wanted to know if you have any flea markets near you where you're at.
Yeah, we do. We have one. Actually, it's not even but like 5 miles from my house. I don't go that often, but it's pretty decent. I mean, it's a big old flea market. It's the only one we have.
Yeah, have you gone sourcing out there a couple of times and checked it
Mm,
out?
I did when the pandemic had everything shut down. They still allowing people to go out there, so I went out there and scored like I think like a Nintendo Cube and what else? I mean, there was a guy there that did golf clubs, and I pretty much cleaned out his whole place. So there's actually a video on that. I think one of my first videos. I I filmed it. Sorry, phone's going
All
off.
right. All right. So yeah, Casey, I run into you in the live streams all the time. It's funny, even though you're in Carolina. Well, I run into you all the time. I'll see you at like Harry Tornado's live stream or Rally Roots.
Hang on one second. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Go ahead.
My son's in here. Okay.
Sorry, guys, we're live, so I apologize.
Hey, I'm on here on the computer. Can you go out for a little bit?
Okay.
Thanks.
But I'm not opening that seven. So
All right. Yeah. Do not open that. Okay. Please don't open it.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
open that because I'm not a sound.
All right. Thank you.
Well,
Sorry, it's all right, guys. We're live, so if you have questions for our guest, the Carolina Hustler, drop it in the chat. Like I said, we're live right now. Anyways, what's your plan? What's your strategy? You said you go out sourcing almost every day. So, what did you have a route that you go when you go sourcing? And what items are you looking for? And how many items do you usually list a day? And how has your sales been lately? Go ahead.
Yeah. So far as that question, the my route, it just depends. I go to chiropractor about 30 miles from my house. There's about 3 Goodwills there, and then 3 Goodwills on the way back. So that's about 6 Goodwills in one day, or at least twice a week. I'm out Goodwilling twice a week. And the route's usually about 6 to 7 thrift stores and Goodwills. I don't want to overkill it because I mean I could have more time listing. So as far as the listings, I do about 10 listings a day. And I usually just try to cut it right there, 10 listings a day. I mean, I'll do a little bit more sometimes, but golf clubs do take a little bit of time, especially with like iron sets. And they can take me up to an hour sometimes just to clean them and take the stickers off that's on there. But they're good profit. And then as far as sales, like I think I was telling you, I think I've done between 9 and 10 gross in the last 2 months. And prior months to that was around 6 to 7. So with netting 50%, so my income has been between $4,000 and $6,000 every month. And
So yeah, probably around 5,000 to 6,000 a month, and if you're actually netting every month, that's really good, man. Yeah. What my issue with that I have is some of these times when you're shopping locally, whether I go to a Goodwill or a thrift store or a pawn shop, is once you go in there and clean them out, it takes a while for them to restock their shelves. So you might go in there and find good merchandise, but it may take 2, 3, 4 weeks for them to actually restock the shelves and get more merchandise. So sometimes I got to travel. Like I'm in Tampa, but sometimes I got to go to Lakeland, or I got to go to Orlando, or I go down in St. Pete. I'll go to Clearwater, or I have to go to Sarasota and travel to other cities because there's no merchandise there. Yeah, like the other day. Yeah, the other day I went shopping and I was at Walmart and I got some video games at Walmart that was on clearance. But the thing is, once you go in there and you get all the items that was on clearance, it's not like you go there again tomorrow or next week and it's going to be there. You see what I'm saying? You have to wait for them to restock the shelves. So once you go and you cleaned out most of the places locally, you kind of you either got to try to source it online, or you got to kind of stretch it out and travel to other cities or other towns and go check those places out. Do you travel a lot, or you just kind of stay in your local city?
I need to travel, but I really don't. I mean, like I said, I'm surrounded by resellers. You probably are in Florida too, but I mean, look, I got Harry Tornado an hour from me, and I know there's about 10 other guys around him, and they're just sharing. Like, I've sourced those Goodwills around him. There's about like 5. Then you go to Myrtle Beach, and I know Bearded Thrifter's there, and there's some other guys. And then, like, I know my surrounding area, so I just stay here. I mean, I'm pretty busy. I should try. I have traveled, made some decent money, but I'm just gonna stay right here and stick to my niche and just try to build what I can. I source online a little bit, but I haven't done that in a while since the pandemic. Everything opened back up. Yeah. I haven't really had to travel too far, thank God. I mean, it's fun to do, but it's just the cost effectiveness, the costing to do that with, but I feel like I have the opportunity here. Now you're saying it takes weeks to restock here. I don't know, man. We're getting stuff in crazy. Like I got you said I got a Tesla picker near me.
Yeah. He lives in Kentucky. Tesla picker lives in the same city as him. But yeah, where I'm in Tampa, like I got Rally Roots, I got Rockstar Flipper. Like I got a lot of people here in Tampa. But the thing is, like, it's a big state. I travel for my job, so I don't mind. I'll go to Gainesville, I'll go to Orlando, I'll go to Fort Myers, and then when I'm traveling for my job, I'll stop into the Goodwill or the thrift store or a pawn shop and look around while I'm there because I'm already traveling out of town anyways.
Where are you located at in Florida?
I'm in Tampa. I'm just north of Tampa.
How far are you from Daytona?
Bro, Daytona's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast.
Okay, I've never town. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know about how far that is. I don't know, man. I'll say if I was in Florida, that's golf club heaven. All the old retirees are down there. I mean, they're here too, but man, I'm telling you, man, I don't know. I would look if I had that issue because I know you got Rockstar and you got Rally down there. I'm looking for a different niche because I know they looking for the obvious. So I've watched their videos. I'm not a big fan of Rockstar. I mean, he's a cool guy.
Oh, you don't like? Well, he seems like a nice guy. I met him in person, and I met Rally Roots in person. Yeah, they're both been on my channel before. Yeah, they seem to be pretty cool when you meet them in person. They're nice, but I'm just saying we're looking for different merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I actually went to the same thrift store, and the very next day, Rockstar Flipper will be like, "Hey, I'm at this Goodwill." I'm like, "Dude, I was literally there yesterday, bro. Like, I was at that same Goodwill you were at just the day before." Yeah. And I'll even tell him in the comments section. Yeah, but he seems like a nice guy. But anyways, man, so you go out sourcing every day, right? And you're out looking for merchandise, and you try to list at least 10 items a day. And give me an example. Let's say you find a golf club. What is your average buy price, and what's the sell price on these golf clubs?
Buy price, because I buy a lot of bulk. I would say anywhere from $3 to $0. Like, well, I'll buy in bulk and I'll sell one golf club, pays for the whole bulk, the whole like purchase profit. But normally we're $3 to $5. You're asking at $3 to $5 a club, if not less. I won't go over $5 a club unless it's something really, really, high dollar, expensive, newer style club.
Yeah, and then so what do they sell for online? Because I'm not expert on golf clubs, but I mean, like, do they sell for like $10, $50? Like, does it depend on the name brand? I
probably average $20, $30 a golf club. I mean, it does depend on the name brand. I look for the top name brands in golf, but there's some other things out there too that you can sell that's not like top name brand that still sell, but it's really all over the place. I mean, it's hard to get new stuff, so new stuff can sell into the thousands of dollars. I'm not going to get that in the thrift stores. So most of the thrift items I'm getting that are $5 and under, I'm making anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks on. So that's where
Awesome.
that's normally where I kind of, when I do the bookkeeping at the end, I can see where I'm over 50% as far as the amount of money I've spent on my inventory and how much, grosses came in to kind of get the net profit.
Yeah, guys. So we're live with the Carolina Hustler. He's a full-time dad, full-time YouTuber, full-time reseller, and he was just telling us he's been doing about 10 grand a month in sales the past month or so. And he was just trying to give us some tips and tricks. So if you have any questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. Someone wanted to know, how do you ship those golf clubs? I think you have one of those cylinder tubes. How do you go about shifting on your on these golf clubs? How do you go about shipping them when someone pays for them? I mean, you put it in bubble wrap and then drop it in a cylinder tube, or how does that go, man?
I just use the USPS priority shipping tubes, which, like I was telling you, I'm having a hard time getting right now. I think since golf has really exploded this year, this has been the best year of golf. But yeah, use the USPS priority shipping tubes and pretty much have to Frankenstein the top box to fit over top of it, and that's how you do it. It's just really not too hard. I do use bubble wrap. You bubble wrap the head of the golf club up. And it's really not that bad. It's pretty easy.
All right, Casey. Now, before we let you go, bro, I've got to ask you some more questions, man. So if someone wants to start a YouTube channel, give me 2 or 3 good tips if someone was interested in starting a YouTube channel, because I noticed you've been getting a little bit of traction on your videos. You've been getting some more viewers and subscribers. How does someone go about starting a YouTube channel if they're thinking about it? Give them 2 or 3 tips about starting a YouTube channel.
Man, someone needs to give me some tips.
Come on, bro. Just go ahead, because I'm just saying, like, some people are camera shy, some people don't like editing. So just go ahead and give us 2 or 3 tips if you got any. All right?
Well, yeah, most definitely. Because when I first started out, I watched some YouTube videos, and most people said, if you're starting a YouTube channel, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I just did it. I just took my iPhone and filmed it. It had iMovie on there, and I just talked about what I was reselling, and that was it. But I mean, if you're looking for better tips, I think you have to be very responsive in your community that you're in. So we're in the resale community, so you reach out and talk like me and you're talking. I think that helps out a lot to gain your traction on subscribers and, getting people to comment, like your videos. You have to have good content. Have something decent. You can't just get on there and 3-minute video and I expect everybody to like it and subscribe and binge watch it. So, good content, be interactive in your community, comment on other people's channels too, just kind of get out there and talk to them and, give them good feedback on what they're doing. And they may come back and, follow you and give you some, good tips on what you need to do. That's kind of how I started getting a little traction, but I feel like a very small channel. I just listened to what Graham Stephan said, man. He had had a video out on how to get your first 1,000 subscribers. Did you watch that at all?
I've watched a lot of Graham Stephan's videos. I'm a subscriber to his channel, but yeah, I think a lot of it I feel like is just consistency, collaboration, and just being yourself. If you're just be yourself, you're authentic, and you're trying to help people, I feel like, and you got to be patient. It'll just grow over time, buddy. So somebody in the chat, they wanted to know, what's the cost to ship one of those golf clubs? When you do shipping, the customer pays shipping, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I make them charge shipping, but the average cost of shipping a club is $10. Pretty much across the United States. In Southeast here, you go pay third buyer pay about $7 to $9, and then once you cross over into the West Coast, you're probably around $10 to $12.
Okay, so somebody wants to know if there's a Rally's or a Wendy's or a White Castle near you.
Well, there is a Wendy's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, instead of Rally's, it's called Checkers. I think that's the other.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
How far away you live from Myrtle Beach? You don't live too far from Myrtle Beach, do you?
No, probably about 2 hours.
Okay,
about 2.5, 3 hours. So I've been up there a few times sourcing. This is good, man. I like Myrtle Beach.
You're just like, forget the beach. I'm going sourcing.
Oh yeah, dude, man. Yeah. I went there like a year. Yeah, last year. This is before I got on the YouTube channel. I went there last year.
Yeah.
And they had 2 community yard sales, and one was literally, called Golf Community.
Really?
I racked up like $2,000 worth of golf clubs in that area.
Really? In one day?
Oh yeah, I've done that multiple times. I've done that a bunch of times, but that was a good one just because I was out of area. But now I'm scared to go up there now because I got Bearded Thrifter. There's some other ones like, oh, y'all probably done.
That's all I do. Look, man. If you go out hustling and you work your tail off and you're going out sourcing every day, you're listing every day, you're shipping every day. Don't worry about the competition. They should be worried about you. That's the thing. They should be worried about you. They should be like, hey, I saw this Carolina hustler. He's a hustler. He's out here getting it. I need to be worried about him. If you look, man, if you just go out hustling every day, you don't have to worry about no competition, bro. I promise you. Like I said, my goal this year, if I get my 10,000 items listed like I want to be listed, the sales will come automatic, bro. You don't have to be stressed about it. So here we go, Casey. Again, before we let you go, bro, give me 3 good tips. If someone's a part-time reseller, they want to go from part-time to full-time. They want to make that their full-time income. Give us 3 good tips that they need to go be a part-time reseller to a full-time reseller where they're making enough money where they can say, peace out, I'm quitting my job, I'm put my 2 weeks notice in, I'm out of here. How do they do that?
You better have $20,000 in cash. You better be able to make profit every month that above your budget. And you better have at least 300 good selling items in your store that sells rapidly and a sourcing that you can source it. I really think that those 3 things are just going to be key because you can't quit your job without that. I mean, I was always scared to quit my job until I got to that point.
Talk a little bit more about that. Like, give us your top 3 things. You need to have emergency fund. You should have your debts paid off, right? And then you want to have good sourcing material, right? As far as having good ways to source and get merchandise. And talk a little bit about how your life been since you became a full-time reseller. Like, have you been more stressed? Like, man, I've got to come up with this money to pay these bills every month? Or are you just like, dude, I'm just chilling, loving life. Everything's great. I get to spend more time with my wife and my kids and my family. I get to work from home. I get to be my own boss. Like, talk a little bit about how that's been for you, man. Because not everybody can just say, hey, peace out, deuces. I don't need this job anymore,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of questions in one, but I mean, definitely having that cash built up is going to make you feel more confident in doing that. So that's how I felt. Because, as long as you got enough that you can last a year and that way your eBay business fails, you're feeling more confident with that. I mean, the life on the other side is great. I won't lie, but it is stressful too. I mean, like I do have, like I've had parts of my day where I just go sit at my neighborhood pool and chill out, drink a margarita, let my son play in the water after I've done a day of listing and sourcing. And that's great because I ain't got nobody telling me anything of what I got to do other than my wife. And I mean, she's cool. But I mean, I do get stressed. I don't know what it is. This YouTube thing stresses me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I try not to because I'm like, I don't know. The YouTube thing's stressful for some reason. Where you're sitting there like, all right, well, why don't I have that many subscribers or views, and what do I need to do to change it? But I have learned how to cope with that. Where I just do 2 videos a week. I'm gonna, and that's it. I mean, and people gonna love it or they gonna hate it. I'm gonna be like you said. I'm gonna be real. This is authentic. This is me. I'm not being fake. I show sold comps on what I'm selling. I literally went into one video where I actually said I was gonna make $100 in an hour, and I did do that. That was authentic. So, talking about the stressful part, and then the eBay stressful thing, man. I mean, I roll with the punches. I was in retail for a while, so when I get like a message, like I got a message right now, I got to check. Those can get stressful, but if you've seasoned and you can deal with it. Like I got missing packages now, and people with damaged stuff or something ain't right, negative feedback. So I haven't had negative feedback in a long, long time. But
yeah,
that kind of stuff, man. I roll with punches and don't stress out about it. At the end of the day, I mean, it's a full-time job. It really is. I mean, I list 10 items a day. I'm sourcing. I'm dealing with people's complaints. I'm shipping. I'm YouTubing. I'm sitting there trying to make some videos twice a week. So, like I say, to answer your question, it's very enjoyable to be your own boss and have, that time to do whatever you want to do. And that's great. But it does get stressful trying to, like on my end, I'm trying to build my net worth. I have all the bills taken care of. So I'm constantly doing that. I'm constantly watching people like Graham Stephan and, the higher up people in my age, I don't know how old you are in that age bracket, because I look at them, how successful they are. And it does stress me out to see, like, why can I get there, but what do I need to do to get there? And so I do try to not get stressed out about it, but that can be stressful too, trying to be beyond my expectations.
But Casey, you're only a human, bro. You can only do so much. You got the main thing is taking care of your health taking care of your family, and then taking care of your business. Everything else is going to sort itself out. You get to be your own boss. You get to make up your own work schedule. A lot of people don't get to come home and spend time with their wife and their kids and their family. They're out working 8, 10, 12-hour days in 100-degree heat, some boss breathing down their neck, having to wear a stupid uniform all day. So, bro, man, I'm just saying, when I see you all the time in live streams and chats. We both watch the same channels. So I see you in a lot of these places, bro. So anyways, man, I know you got to go pick your kids up from daycare. So I'm going to let you go, bro. But before we let you go, give us your 2 or 3 final tips to be a full-time reseller and to be your own boss, and give us your final thoughts. If someone wants to come check your channel out, where they can find you and all that. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, say that question one more time. The video got broken.
I said, yeah. Okay. If someone wants to be a full-time reseller, if they're like, hey, I've been doing this part-time for a year or 2. I'm ready to switch over and do this full-time to make this my full-time job. How do I go about doing that? Like, do they need to have like a set schedule? Do they need to list a certain number of items? Do they need to go sourcing a certain number of places? How do they switch over from making it a part-time side hustle to this being your full-time income as a full-time reseller? Because there's some resellers that may be making $500 or $1,000 a month, but they're not doing 10 grand a month in sales like you are. So how do they get from, let's say, $1,000 or $2,000 a month to 10 grand a month in sales? Let's try that.
Well, let's just say, Jeff, with that question you're asking, let's just say they have all that other crap out of the way, like the finances and that junk. You just got to jump. You just got to quit. I mean, because honestly, when I did it, I got the books. I only made like $1,000. I made a few, I had the $2,000 profits. But when I did the jump, I immediately, because I was able to list more, because you have more time to list, you have more time to spend more time on your business and source. As long as you got the sourcing coming in, you should be able to put that time that you had in your full-time job, you treat this like a full-time job. You have to be disciplined. You have to get up a certain time in the morning. You have to have that schedule where I'm going to list 10, 20. You're doing a lot of items. See, that's great. But you have to have that discipline to do that. You can't just think you're just going to lay at home, because that'll put you back to the 9 to 5. You have to hold yourself accountable. Like I know, what's his name? OSB. I don't know if you watch it. I know you do. He has like the accountability board. That's kind of what you got to do. You got to hold yourself accountable. You got to make sure you're hitting targets in your sales. And the ultimate question is, you got to jump. I mean, if you're going to do it, just do it. I mean, just make sure you have all the other credentials as far as your finances in order, and you have that confidence. I mean, do it and jump, and you will. I have a lot of confidence that most people will succeed in eBay reselling, because, I mean, that as long as you got the algorithm figured out where you're listing every day, sending out offers, your sales will come in as long as you have a grip on everything else. So yeah, just make the jump and do it.
Yeah, man, I've got like a little accountability calendar on my phone, and right now my goal is to list 100 items a day, and every day at the end of the day, I'll put in my little calendar on my phone how many items I listed. So if let's say if my goal is 100 and I only listed 75, well, then the next day I need to list 125 to make up for the 25 I didn't list the day before. Do you see what I mean? So I have a little calendar on my phone, and I track every day. I've been doing 100 a day, but I was like, bro, I need to make sure I do mine at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's sleeping. I get in my zone, and I'll just have stacks of 10, of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, do my stacks of 10, get them knocked out. That's when I list, is in the middle of the night. All right, buddy. So yeah, man, I just crank them out. Like I said, bro, a lot of my items I have are like this. They're smaller items, and they have a little barcode. All I got to do is scan the barcode, hit sell similar, and then, like I said, a lot of them are already brand new in a shrink wrap like this, right? So I don't have to take 10 photos. A lot of time I just use the box art. All right, man, I'm going to let you go, bro, since you said you got to go pick your kid up from daycare, but I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. And, you should come back and hang out with me again, man. Come back on the channel and hang out with me again soon. You can give us an update in a couple months. Let us know how your sales have been, because I want you to come back and say, hey, man, I was at 10 grand a month. Now I'm at 15, 20 grand a month. Next time I have you on the channel. That would be awesome, bro. That would be awesome. Now give us your final thoughts, bro, and let us know where we can come find you. I'm going to link your channel down below.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, final thoughts, man. If anybody ever needs some help with anything, reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, too, at Carolina Hustler 843. Grind it, list, get it shipped and get it sold. And, I hope everybody invests on their own deal, whether it's YouTube or eBay reselling or whatever you're doing. you want to find me too, I mean, definitely leave. You got the link in the below. Leave me comments if you need any help. Someone asks about the shipping, I can help you out with that. Or if you ever find anything that you see I'm selling and you need more information on it, just comment below. I usually check all the comments and reply back. So
Yeah, he's good about that. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks my guys for hanging out, guys. You guys have a great day. Bye.
appreciate it, Jeff. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Later, man.